try this again. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let's see how we're doing out there. This is Underground World News Live. Second attempt to get this launched here tonight. Check the chat. See if I get any feedback here. Hear me? 5x5. Thank you, Joe. Good looking out, E-Fits, Susan, Lonnie. Raymond B thinks we're all doomed. H-Ride. What's up? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Much love, Cannons. Good to see everybody out there. Mindy. Jay from the Bill. Loud and clear, huh? All right, good. Well, I don't know what that was. Think you waned the pain? I'm not sure. What caused that? If you've seen the video I dropped earlier, and you've heard this massive IT thing that went down today, I'm going to get to that here in just a bit. It might be connected to that. They did say, oddly enough, something about broadcasters. Not on Rumble tonight. You always got to put in a separate stream tag and go through like 15 minutes worth of crap just to launch on Rumble. They could make it easy, but they don't. So I'm on DLive, I'm on X, Facebook, YouTube. I went live and it tried to say on my OBS the bit rate was bad, so I shut it down, fired it right back up instantly. It said it was excellent. And I don't know what happened after that. It was almost like it started up multiple streams. I had like multiple streams going. I was like, what? I had to like stop them, erase them, and start fresh. Here we are. So, yeah, I just got done reading out of a headline and update. I was trying to find the most updated information before we went live on this whole IT thing, and it was saying broadcasters. And I'm like, well, how broadcasters specifically? Like, this doesn't make any sense, dude. We're going to get to this in a minute. But I just wanted to make sure that everything was good. Let me check the stream quality. Everything looks good. Excellent, it says. It actually says excellent. So, I will ask anyone that shared the link to please delete it and share it, because it's probably on a whole new link. Yeah, it's probably on a whole new link, because when I went back live, it made a whole different, made two different streams. I don't get it. I don't know. On a weird day like this with all the IT stuff going on, at least we're live, right? At least we're live. Michael King, thank you. Oh, we're going to get to that. Oh, yeah, baby. We're going to get to that. All that. Every little bit of that. Yeah. We're going to tear into all that here in just a bit. Everything with CrowdStrike, with IT issues, Vanguard, BlackRock, and WEF endorsements. Thank you for the donation there. Appreciate it to the fullest. And I guess before I get off running here, up and running, make sure a couple things are good. All right, shutting down my Twitter. Going to be focusing on the YouTube chat. Much love to all the cats on DLive. See Amy over there. Judge Britt, Jay Winch. Wild West, much love. MC Dirty, thank you, my brother, for all the information you sent my way. Black Cat for me. Good to see everybody over there. Sending prayers out for D. White and the boys this weekend up in the mountains. But they have a good one. Much love to all the purebloods. Yeah. JT in the house. Yeah, man. All right. What's the conversation about? We got a lot to talk about. Underground World News Live. We cover all types of topics. Start off here. Well, I'll just tell you now. We're going to hit on all the Trump stuff, some shooting updates, some political updates. We're going to be diving in all types of stuff. The IT news. I'm going to start off with some space weather here, real quick. This is an AI free zone, and that's how we roll around here to the best of our ability. We have a potential dangerous sunspot that it's yet to explode. This is 3751. It has a mixed polarity that harbors energy for X-class solar flares. As you can see right here up on the disk, it's almost exactly Earth facing. So if it does let anything off, it'll be coming right at us. And I'll keep you posted if we see that. It's been spitting off some M flares, as you can see up here. The sun has. But that AR3751 with that energy there, it's highly likely we'll see an X flare here in the coming days. And probably Earth directed. Whether it grazes or direct hit. Like I said, we'll keep up with that. And an update here on this Comet Atlas 2023 A3. It might not be falling apart, which is good because it can put on a show later this year for everyone to see. Cannons checking in. Much love. Thank you, my brother. All no visuals. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Reading the chat. Thank you for that. With everything going on, I forgot to pop up the screen. Thank you for saying that. I can't see anything. Now everyone's bitching. I'll give it a second. Anyhow, this comment. Glad I caught it now. Much love, Gabriel. And just reading the comments, I'm seeing how far the chat is behind. Hopefully you can see Comet Atlas now. Good. Thank you, Mayhem. This could be a little bit like Elenin. Any one of them that came through that we tracked that had weirdness to it. This one going to come very close to the sun in October, and if it stays together, it could light up very bright and give us a show. Rage. Much love. Alvarez in Mexico. Much love. If you guys get any shots, if you guys got a telescope, get anything that looks crazy out there, let me know. Dabu7@yahoo.com. I'll start the show off with an image of whatever you guys catch. As long as I get it. A lot of my stuff's been going to spam here lately. It's been a bit annoying. It seems like it's being done on purpose. All right, let's go check in on the quakes, because we did just have a big object come near the planet. This asteroid, monster asteroid, passed by between the Earth and the Moon. And around these events, sometimes we see an uptick in earthquake activity. Well, we've seen that. And here we go. 5.9, I'm going to say around a 6-pointer. Fox Islands up in Alaska. Decent sized earthquake. Keep an eye on that if it starts moving toward Anchorage. This pinch point up here, when they start hitting there, they can swarm pretty good. We seen last week there was a swarm that kicked up here off the coast of the United States and Canada, off the coast of BC. right between Seattle and Vancouver and goes straight on out. That's where it hit. Still got a little swarming there. Nothing major. Nothing to worry about, so to speak. Texas got a little bit of quake activity on the western flank. The big quake activity right here, right now, is the swarming, and it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've reported on any quake activity down here in Chile. And it let loose with the 7.3, 7.2, 7.4, right in that range. Big quake. And it's swarming. We've seen this happen in the past. We've seen it swarm for quite a while. I haven't heard of any reports of major damage or anything like that. So, big quakes hitting, but luckily, no major damage reported thus far. Keep an eye on that, and I'll update if we see anything else pop off in that department. All right, if you're in the New Madrid fault zone area, you may be noticing that National Guard has been in the region, especially in Missouri. Fresh article out today. Why did Missouri National Guard just hold a massive New Madrid quake drill? Well, I'll tell you that you want to do these things. You want to hold the drill, period. It's not always an ominous thing that they're about to do something. I mean, oftentimes it is. But in an instance like this, when it involves Mother Nature and quakes, I mean, these are things that you just need to be drilling probably yearly. They have the Great Shakeout, which is a big drill a lot of people participate in, you may recall. But this was different. They're saying that they simulated a response to a huge earthquake, 7.7, to strike right around the St. Louis area. They say there's a 10% chance that the state will experience a magnitude 7 or higher quake in the next 50 years, and that would be catastrophic. He said that there's an even better chance that a major quake greater than 6 could cause massive damage. The estimate goes up to 25% that Missouri will see a quake that large in the next 30 years. So it just gets closer and closer and closer here. You know, Brian says 8.4. I don't know what the New Madrid's going to let loose with this next time, but I say that when it does let loose, it's going to be catastrophic. It may be the straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of natural disasters in this country and bringing it down financially and all that. It would wreck the Mississippi and the Ohio River. It would send so many bridges into the ocean. The whole thing would just come unzipped, literally. It would probably flow backwards like it did back in the day. People wouldn't even see it coming. It would be so devastating. It's so more heavily populated in this region today that it would be just absolutely catastrophic. But here are some images showing what they believe through a simulation here, centered right around New Madrid, what would happen to homes. Everything would just get leveled, pretty much. These buildings, some of them standing, others being toppled. You can see others here, and that's in different cities. That's in Jonesburg, Arkansas. The damage they expect. Memphis, Tennessee. You can see skyscrapers buckled. Tennessee, Illinois. Buildings down, St. Louis. So, this hits a 7.7. It will be felt all the way out to where I'm at. In the Appalachian Mountain Range, Eastern KY. I'm sure a lot of people will feel it. But, yeah, if you saw the military out and about, that's what they were up to. That's what they were doing out there in Missouri. For all the people that was wondering. Thank you, Amy Lane. Yeah, it's a ton of bridges. Much love, Joe, Susie Q. Alright, so keep it pushing here tonight. Keep on pace. We're going to go to the big story here that broke today. Elon Musk deletes CrowdStrike from all systems as this huge IT disruption causes chaos. And they were quick to come out and state that this was not a cyber attack. So I want you to remember from here on out that it doesn't take a cyber attack to bring everything down. All of a sudden today, they've shown us, and they've shown any bad guy out there watching, that you don't need to cyber attack the systems to get this result. All you got to do is literally take out one place like CrowdStrike. It's over. Do you understand what I'm telling you? One place just showed us, for all the people got their head in the sand. Do you see that one place gets hit? Didn't even get hit, just had an update with the glitch. Imagine if this place and its servers and everything connected to this place, CrowdStrike, goes down. Or does get hacked. If it gets hacked, you talk about a national security threat. They just showed us that just in an updated patch today, it sent the blue screen of death across the board, all across the globe, pretty much, except for in Russia, which I was instantly thinking to myself, I wonder what places didn't get hit. But if somebody wanted to point the finger there, it wouldn't be too hard. Russia has been moving away from all those systems since like 2014, for like the past decade. Since all this major stuff happened, they were like, you know what? We're not going to buy all your stuff, and we're going to build up a different way. So instead of using Microsoft and all their systems, they don't have it. It may be in some people's systems there, but not in the government as a whole. They were smart about it. They're not even affected at this point. So, that right there is an excuse for our government to easily point the finger and be like, oh, well, who wasn't affected? Oh, Russia wasn't affected. They must have did it. I'm not so sure about that. You got to look at who benefits, who profits from something when you're an investigator, when you're investigating something here. And we know that these people are all about control. Let's dive into this, okay? First off, Elon says that it causes a seizure in the auto supply chain. Well, the auto industry and car dealerships just got held hostage just last week or before, remember? For a couple weeks, they sure were, if not longer than that. They just came out and said something about it. All kinds of dealerships could not sell any cars on their lots. Remember? I mean, dude, they're hitting everywhere. They've hit hospitals, water, power, all the infrastructure. Today, we get a blip where it hits all of it. And it wasn't even, well, we seen what they had to do. All they had to do was go through CrowdStrike. Okay? So I've got quite a few different stories connected to this, because this is, something's not right with this. Just like the whole shooting around Trump, something's not right with it. The same thing. Something's not right with it. So Elon says they deleted everything out of Twitter or X's systems. Or out of all the systems, out of like everything. SpaceX, you name it. How so quickly? Robson, thank you. Yeah, took down everything. A beta test. Very well. I think it's another form of a beta test. Yes, Bill Gates is the Microsoft owner. Hello. Ding, 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 ding. Jackpot. If I could open a chest on YouTube and give it to you, I would. Like, give you a prize. Look, it's the truth. This man's at every angle. Everywhere we go, he's there, you know, rubbing his hands together, ready to make some money off the next chaotic thing that happens to us. And sure enough, Bill Gates, that's his baby. Microsoft, every bit of it. So that you know, this is what happened. CrowdStrike says that they put out this update. Microsoft uses CrowdStrike as a security firm type of apparatus. You see? So they released an update, and as soon as they put this update out, it started to impact IT systems globally. Okay? Give everyone this blue screen. So you know that your computer didn't get hit today. A lot of people out there listening, you got Microsoft. All the Xbox didn't go down. Funny how X is everywhere these days, huh? So it wasn't everywhere. It was only in certain places. And they put out a fix for it. Now, my warning is that we've come to know how they operate. Okay? If they want to get new malware onto your computer, they will cause an issue like this and they will put out a patch. Okay? A fix. And when you install that patch or that fix, you're going to get fixed. You will work right. Everything will go back to normal. But they're updating whatever little malware or whatever they want in your system at the same time. They're never going to tell you this, but it's the truth, and we busted them doing it already in the past over and over. It's a tactic, okay? And it's when you see this, this is my first rodeo, okay? When you see this many times throughout the years, and it's just changed names and shape and color, but it's the same thing, then you could sniff it out. You could see what it is, okay? And I'm telling you, something's not right about this. And when Mr. Gates is right there at the bottom of this, I don't think so, dude. I really feel that this was a beta test big time here. It affected banks. Full scale, okay? People couldn't close on their homes today because of this. Couldn't get money out of the bank. People on ATM lines ticked off. Although, if they got this information and they applied this patch that they put out there rather quickly, they'd be back online. Okay, they can. They can get back online quick. All they got to do is do this quick. They made it easy, which is another thing I raised my eyebrows. Like, that quick and that easy of a patch and a fix. It just all comes back to me saying, hey, we've caught these guys doing this before, and they were basically installing their new malware on millions of devices. So now, guess what? Now that they've done this and they've dropped the seeds in everyone's stuff out there, the latest version, now guess what? Just wait a few weeks, let it go by, months or whatever, and they can flip the switch and they can activate the new malware that they just put in there on everyone's stuff, and it will take everything down. Hey, much love, and thank you for the coffee there, someone. And all the RIP shout-outs. Much love. Thank you again for the coffee. I think there's something else here I want to touch on real quick on this one. Okay, it impacted FedEx and UPS deliveries today as well. 911 services disrupted in this. I mean, look at every single thing that it took down. Obviously, the shares of CrowdStrike and Microsoft fell off a cliff. Someone tried to buy them back up here. They bought the dip on them. We'll see here. This happens again, you won't even have a chance to probably get into the markets. Everything will be froze. Just imagine that. I really feel like this was a beta test, big time. They just were sampling. Look at everything. Everything turned up. Everything turned up. All these places were affected. Google, Amazon, maybe not full scale, but they were all affected. Chase Bank, Starbucks, CrowdStrike itself, Microsoft, Visa, TD Bank, Zoom, Wells Fargo, DoorDash, Southwest, flights. I haven't even said that one time, and this was the biggest thing. Flights grounded across the country. Boeing, United, you name it, just all grounded, ground stops put in place. You talk about a massive disruption. That's what hit, and they always said it would begin on a Friday. Yeah, they all use CrowdStrike, huh? Well, that's interesting. That's a national security issue. Can't you see? Can't you see? I mean, I've said it, I think, 20 times. They're all going through one place. They're all going through one place. So hit that one place. Hit the bottleneck. Hit the bottleneck, and you got it all. You do it all in. You bring the whole thing down. Freeze it all up. Hit the one spot. You do. You sure do. So, coming your way, Ray. You got a hammer now. All right, now look at this. Let me give you some background on CrowdStrike. Who is CrowdStrike and what are they? I told you there's this cybersecurity type of place. And they are actually connected and behind the Russia hacked email scandal, if you guys don't know. So I'll refresh your memory there. They're behind the Russia hacked email scandal that offered no evidence during the investigation. Well, that's the same ones behind this IT outage that shut everything down. So they've been caught in the past bringing up false information, everything connected to the whole Russia thing. And it was these fools. It was these fools connected to it. So, I mean, that's... I don't trust them. I don't like the feel of it. I don't like the feel of none of it. Speaking of BlackRock Appalachian, I'm going to be getting to that in just a second. You much love, right? You earned it. So, Michael, thank you. Yes, prime example of why CBDC should be rejected. You're done for if there's an internet issue. Yeah, anything digital. Anything digital. If you can't hold it in your hand and they can hack or seize the whole industry up, you're done. Now, I think that's what's about to happen. I've been warning you guys about this. Now, what they've just proven is that they don't even have to hack it to do it. All they got to do is have a glitch or say it was a glitch to do it. Oops, it happened again. My bad. That's literally what just happened today. Oops, my bad. Sorry for bringing the whole world to standstill. Ain't no names, no heads on the chopping block, no one losing their jobs, no nothing. Just bring the whole world to a freaking standstill. It didn't full scale. It was like, it really felt like it was testing the waters. And it doesn't set well with me. None of this does. It's the same groups, BlackRock, Vanguard, all of them tied in to the same stuff. And it's a world stage, man. Never forget, our government and these other governments are in bed together. People fall back asleep and start falling into the storyline again. That everybody's bad guys and enemies, boogeymen, Iran, China, and this and that. That's garbage. Yeah, that's all right. So I'm going to keep this pushing here. As I said, Russia unaffected by this massive Windows 10 outage linked to CrowdStrike. So that could be another thing. If you're operating off of Windows, an older version or a different version that was not Windows 10, this would not have affected you. Okay? Air traffic control systems, banks, broadcasters. See where it says broadcasters? That's what I read right before I went live tonight. And had all these broadcasting issues that we started off with. But Russia, they say they were not affected by this. They say that this illustrates the importance of becoming self-sufficient in terms of critical software. They stress this. They go on to say that Windows 10 users around the world, including airports, banks, and broadcasters, suffered serious failures on Friday. The problems have been reported in Australia, New Zealand, Japan, India, Germany, Spain, the US, and many other countries. So far, the Russian ministry is saying there's been no reports of any crashes at Russian airports. Not physical crashes, but like the systems. And the situation with Microsoft once again demonstrates the significance of substituting foreign software. That way they can't take you down like this. Russia's been under attack now for a decade. They've learned a lot. We've attacked their economy, and that's backfired, if not all on purpose here on this world stage. And they've been resilient. Their economy, even to here recently, especially with the Bidenomics and inflation, Russia and their economy has been surging, doing better than the U.S. and American economy. That is crazy. They're in an all-out war right on the border and everything else. But war is also a moneymaker, and you know this. So that's keeping their economy booming as well at this point. And it's just facts of the game. Okay, so we'll see come Monday morning just how cleared up this whole IT glitch thing is. I don't trust it. Let's just hope that it is, because I feel, just like I said with the cyber attack, this is like happening just like we've always warned about. Start on a Friday, come Monday morning, you hope everything's going to be back online, but it's not. And then people freak out all week long. And then it begins. It's like, that's when they usher in the CBDC. When you can't get the money out of your bank account. When you can't get any money out of your bank account, they're going to be sitting there like, yo, we got the answer. We'll just give you some CBDC. Just download this wallet and we'll send it on over. That easy. That easy. All the sheep will line up in droves. Live one checking in. Much love, my brother. Good to see you. Hope all is well out there on the West Coast. Got one here on ultra-processed foods. It's now linked to increased risks for 32 different health conditions. Yeah, and that includes, I'm not going through all of them, but that includes heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, anxiety, premature death, just to name a few. So these ultra-processed foods, you definitely don't want to be eating en masse. It's one thing to have a snack or have something every now and then that, breaks the cycle, unless you're a stickler. And that's okay too. It's all on how you want to live your life, how clean, and all that. When you get into all these snacks, as I will call them, snack food type deals, they're all, like, if you go to the store these days and you pick up any bag of chips, any candy bar on the shelf, like anything, unless you're in an organic aisle, they're going to say contains a bioengineered food ingredient. That's just wrong. It's inhumane. It's not right, but yet all of it can have it. Every single thing you see in this picture right here, from your candies to your chocolates to your chips to your whatevers, your dips, your donuts, your breads, your pizzas, all these things. Again, moderation is key in this life with everything. Having control over all these things that surround you is part of this test in life, I'm going to tell you. And to overcome and have control of all of them is the key, not to let them control you. We now have something new on the scene. This is now called the Newcastle virus. They found this in Brazil, and guess what it's done? It's halted all chicken exports. Sends shares of the producer sliding. So you talk about all the bird flu stuff that we've seen, all the testing, and then making people kill all the chickens and getting that ball rolling. Well, now you have this new Newcastle virus. Yeah, that's right. In Brazil, South America, in these two together, you saw this coming. They were going to throw two at once at us. If you get two big things unraveling, not good, man. I'm just saying. You know where they're going with all this. It's all about control. When I see them halting chicken exports down here, knowing what we're going through here and everywhere else, under the name of this stupid bird flu crap, it's just driving prices higher. Higher and higher and higher. Maybe people don't care when they see or hear this. It's like, oh, get to something else. Well, wait till you're out trying to get dinner for the family next week and then you don't have enough money to do it. And you're like, why is this so? It's like, well, we tried to explain it to you, but it was just, wasn't exciting enough for you, I guess. But this is where we're going. Chicken through the roof, without a doubt. Eggs. And I don't know how this affects cattle, like the bird flu, but this whole chicken thing can wreak havoc real quick. I'm going to shift gears. Move into the water system across the country. You may have a pretty crappy water supply system and infrastructure in your city. They're all different out there. They're all pretty crappy in this country. I suggest you take the whole thing into your own hands. Growing up here where I'm at, I know a lot of people that caught their own water and still do to this day. They catch it and they have cisterns. Even massive houses, big or small, doesn't matter. They catch it, they filter it, they clean it, and that's been the best way for them to do it, outside of having some wells. But in places you can't have wells, water catchment and cleaning it yourself, you get no complaints. They have a Berkey in the kitchen, and they'll send it off to get tested before consuming, and most every time, it's way cleaner than the water getting tested coming out of their faucet. Which is like, how? They've got a full-blown facility in every town to clean this stuff. How is it coming out smelling funny, looking funny, cloudy, testing for all these different things, metals? Well, California is at the top of the list now, they're saying. With everybody's on this list. I almost feel like every major city out there has water issues in the United States. Take it into your own hands. All I can say. Same with the food. All of it. Start growing your own food, catching your own water. Spend the money and the time to do it if you care. I've spent the past 4 years of my life nonstop preparing for what's about to happen. Nonstop. Everything I have, every single day, everything that I do. it's been to prepare for what I know is about to happen. I hope you guys have been doing the same. Ever since they locked us down. Yeah, I don't forget. Everything that they did. Yeah. It's time to pull a Machiavelli. And disappear. So let's move into some other news here. It looks like people are not watching TV anymore that much. And in terms of filming and all these shows, reality TV, all these things people used to get sucked into, it looks like it's not happening as much anymore. You would have thought that, when they locked everybody down, maybe that matter of fact, yeah, that's exactly what they're showing. After everyone gets locked down in 2021, everything peaked. I guess everybody had their fill. But it says Los Angeles filming bust deepens with a sharp decline in reality TV. So people just not watching it anymore. And what's this one say? Is the golden age of TV series over? What's it show? Wow, what do you know? It goes up and it has the same hump and hits the same peak right there, 21, 22, as we just seen in another chart in a whole different story, talking about kind of the same industry, just put it that way. So they're saying that the peak of peak TV era is over. Out of all of our lives, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s, that we just hit it, and it may be done. TV dramas, all the shows people watch, and this is TV. Streaming, on the other hand, hits 40% of US TV usage for the first time. So this is where things are shifting to. Away from everyday TV, classical TV, come in 5 o'clock, and evening news is on, all that. No. People are shifting over to shows like this, Underground World News, to get their information and going to streaming services. You can see YouTube actually beats out all here above Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu, Disney, all of them. So, yeah, the streaming, people realizing that this is where they're going to find the truth. And ever since I've lived where I live now, it's the past 5 years, so I haven't had any cable at all. Wasn't even picked when we moved in. Just, I cut it out. I constantly cutting out things. Just trying to make life better. And I cut out cable at that point. And I haven't returned and never looked to ever return again. So, yeah. Some stats there for you. Here's one for you. The United States Postal Service, now in bed with all the alphabet gangs as well, like I said, this is an alphabet gang, caught sharing customer addresses with the tech giants, including Meta and LinkedIn. I mean, they should be sued. Remember when Facebook got caught selling all of our data and made billions? They could have got sued by any one of us, and we could have got big money. Instead, this little class action thing came. Our government stepped up and told Facebook, guess what? If the people are going to be that stupid and not sue you and get their money out of you rightfully, then we're going to. And they made Mark Zuckerberg give them $6 freaking billion with a B that should have been our money to split up. And our government took it. And the dumbass lemmings just kept on pushing. It's just so sick. This place is done. Done. Do you see any cavalry anywhere? No, they ain't coming. I told you before, everyone going to these Trump rallies and it's over. And it's a problem. It's a major problem. Animal Black, much love. We should have patriots and militia groups gathering all the time, all over in every state. You don't see or hear of it nowhere. And there should be, en masse. Something going on. I'm telling you, it's black magic. So, it looks like China's done a good job brainwashing their people, because when it comes to a trust index by country, they're at the top of the list. 79. India right behind them, UAE, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, where they cut your head off, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, all these places. Average trust, Mexico in the middle, Brazil, Canada, Australia. Notice I haven't named the United States yet. Low trust. You got to go halfway down on the low pole to even find us. People they're waking up. They don't trust the government at all at this point. The Biden regime especially. The United States just way down there. Now, the day has finally come. As it says here, Instagram going after and censoring Team USA and their rifle shooter ahead of the Paris Paralympics. This is crazy. Absolutely nuts. They're going, this is our U.S. Olympic team. This is their sport. This is their sport. Thank you, Ozzy. This is their freaking sport. Representing Team USA. And yet they're going on social media and getting censored for it? Like, dude, this is ridiculous. But that's what's happening. Instagram, because it has to do with the gun, they're censoring it. And so is YouTube. Look at this one. YouTube tightens a stranglehold on firearms content. It blocks all gun-related sponsors. So now if you've even got a sponsor that's connected to guns, because there's money involved or anything like that, nuh-uh, they ain't allowing it. So it was one thing to come in and disarm and take down all these gun channels throughout the years. All kinds of them. I watched a ton of them just go. They're not around. They don't exist anymore. They're gone. They eliminated them. Now, if they even try to use a gun sponsor, anything doing with guns whatsoever, this is what's happening. So let's dive into the politics right here at the top of the hour exactly. I want to thank everybody that's tuned in. I'm going to go over here and load up a chest real quick. We'll put 2,000 in a big chest over there on D Live. And I'm opening it. For those that don't know, on D Live, the chest is something I can put coins in and give back to the chat. I wish that YouTube would pick it up. I wish they would also pick up hosting, where I could host other channels over here. Simple stuff like that. Yeah, man. 70% of Americans believing Biden should drop out of this poll. That's huge numbers. Huge numbers. Black Cat, Lee, For Me, Gara, MC. 70%. Okay, so this is a significant increase from roughly a third in a similar poll from February. So yeah, overall, roughly 70% of Americans are not at all confident that he has the ability to effectively be our president. It's pretty obvious at this point. The whole thing's falling apart. And I don't think he's going to be their pick. They've got to get it together. Time's running out. The RNC has now come and passed. The DNC is coming up next in August, a month away. So they've got 30 days to get this together. it can't last much longer unless some crazy events happen. Crazy events. Crazy events. Emergencies. Imagine if this CrowdStrike thing today would have been even larger, like tenfold. And I wasn't even live tonight, and it was that bad, and everything was down. Like, yeah, that would be an emergency. And then they would constitute doing whatever. Suspending the DNC. So Biden keeps up with this stuff that he's in the race. He's saying that it's malarkey, that the MSM is reporting all the stuff that he's backing out. But this has been them just trying to save face, in my opinion. And it's done. I don't see how I can recover from this. You can't walk back all the stuff. All the senators that are supposed to be there backing you, they don't want you there. And Biden nomination odds, as it says here, are collapsing on reports of an imminent withdrawal and Harris reportedly vetting running mates. So Kamala running around trying to... This is all crazy. Here, I'm going to play this clip so you guys can get an idea of what's going on.
Carl, according to multiple Democratic sources, this is happening all of a sudden. Everyone said it would happen gradually and then all at once, and that's what's happening. According to my sources, President Biden has agreed to step down as the Democratic nominee.
Oh, man.
It will happen as early as this weekend. A speech has been drafted for him. He will continue on as president, is his intention. He also will not, I'm told, endorse Vice President Harris as his successor. They're hoping that he will endorse an open process in which the convention will be open to Vice President Harris and a few other candidates in Chicago to pick the Democratic nominee for president. The belief is that Vice President Harris is already looking at potential running mates to go to Chicago with a full ticket, including one possibility, Andy Beshear, the governor of Kentucky, and perhaps the governor of Pennsylvania, Governor Shapiro. Other possible candidates who are being talked about include Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, perhaps Gretchen Whitmer, and again, the vice president running. On the first ballot, the regular delegates would be allowed to vote under this agreement that's being talked about amongst the president and high-level Democratic officials. The regular delegates would vote on the first ballot. If there is no winner on the first ballot, the so-called super delegates would be allowed to vote on the subsequent ballot. This decision was reached, I'm told, all of a sudden because of the high-level pressure from Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, and others, and as well as the decision of many of President Biden's top aides that there was no path forward for him, that he would not be able to win this election, win the general election. And therefore, he's stepping aside again as early as this weekend.
So there you guys go with that. Spiro checking in. Much love, my brother. Good to see you. Hope all is well. There you go. That guy just summed it up there from Newsmax and laying it out on what they foresee is about to happen with Joe Biden. Basically, he's going to step aside, and what's about to happen is there's going to be a showdown at the DNC. This DNC is going to be like a mini election in itself, but, obviously all put together by them. And as he just put it, Kamala will show up, and she will not just be the pick. There will be several other people there to contend against her. That way it doesn't look like they just handed it to her, I guess. And you heard all the names. I want to remind you, there is $90 million the Dems cannot touch unless Kamala's on the ticket. And he just said she's trying to grab a vice president to run. She just said Andy Beshear, my governor of Kentucky. Do you know that guy, he's only our governor because they put him there? You thought the whole Trump thing was crazy with the election. Well, we went through it first. And then again, you can't find a Beshear supporter anywhere around here. People got Trump mowed into their grass around here. You feel me? Okay? Yet we are labeled and listed as a Democratic blue state because of our governor? Well, I don't think so. We were the first state last election to lock in. First state. And guess who it was locked in for? Trump. And we got a Democratic governor? How is that even possible? How's it working like that? Yep. Well, here we got a strong Republican AG, Daniel Cameron and others, and they overrode our governor on all the crap, through lockdowns, through all of it. They overrode him. Like, nope, we don't think so. Nope, we don't think so. Then they turn around and are like, all right, Kentuckians, you can now constitutional carry. Meaning all of you can carry. You don't need a permit no more. Watch your tail. Get ready. It's about to go down. And oh yeah, if the feds want to come in here and mess with you, they're on their own. They get no back from nobody. From the military, from police, from nobody. When they come in here. I like them odds. So, this is fitting to be a crazy DNC that, inside or out, you know, we thought that they were going to be protesting, chanting them down outside, but if they've got this little nomination thing going on, you know what I'm saying? This fitting to get interesting. I don't know. Get Bashir up out of here. I know we got work to do here too, but they're using these corrupt systems to pull all this off. Yeah, same in AZ. Yeah, it's crazy. I've seen the ruse. I've seen them pulling the crap. I'm gonna keep it pushing here. Schumer says that Biden, he needs to drop out of the race. And he does this as Biden tests positive for COVID. Biden just came out and says, well, if I get diagnosed with anything crazy, I'll probably drop out. Turns around and says, well, they just diagnosed me with COVID. So everyone's sitting on the edge of the seat like, does that mean? Like, just say it, just say it, just say it. Just say it, just say it. Massey, definitely a better pick, yeah. And when the old vulture, I can't even think of his name now. See his face. He's my senator, not Rand Paul, but I'm drawing a blank on him. I hate him so bad. I hate him so bad. I hate him so bad. I can't even think of his name. It's insane. But I'll just take that blank right now. Mitch McConnell. Oh my gosh. He got booed down at the RNC. RNC was a big show. Everyone was out there, you know, cheering on there, dancing, having a good time. But when Mitch McConnell came out and showed his face, the whole place booed him down. That's crazy. Show up to a big party where everyone's just having a good old time, rocking out and cheering on. Trump's coming out on stage, all these cats. Yeah, Diana. Yeah, Blaish, that's right. Yeah. So you know that's how far the chat is behind me right there. Not too far tonight. So Biden orders a poll on Harris and her popularity. I've told you these polls, show after show. She is in a lead amongst anyone that can win, but this is how it's going right now. This newest poll that they say the White House themselves conducted, conducted by the APNORC Center of Public Affairs Research. It indicates that 6 in 10 Democrats believe Harris would make a good president. 6 in 10 Democrats believe Harris would make a good one. So that's the Democrats. However, among the general population, only 3 in 10 view the current vice president as a good replacement for Biden. So those are not good numbers at all. And you heard what their scheme or their scam is. They were just doing there. Let's jump into the RNC, brother. And they pulled out all the stops. The Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, coming out. They say putting on a show here at the RNC.
I think about how Donald Trump, his family was compromised. When I look out there and I see Donald Trump, I think about how his business was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
I had a heart attack here.
They've thrown everything at Donald Trump. All the investigations, the impeachments, the court cases, and he's still standing and kicking their butts. We never had it better than the Trump years. Back then, we had a thriving economy. We had strong borders. We had safe streets. We had peace and respect around the world. But then we lost it all in a blink of an eye. Crime is out of control. The border is out of control. The price of food and gas and housing is out of control. And the only person who can clean this up is Donald Trump.
Oh, and he blew him a kiss. He blew him a kiss. Look at that. He's puckered up. He blew him a kiss. He blew the Hulkster a kiss. The Antichrist blew him a kiss. I'm just kidding. I mean, Donald Trump. I got some jokes tonight. Some fresh Trumper come in here like, what? He called him the Antichrist? He's probably crapping their pants. I gotta get my laughs in where I can. But no, he just blew the Hulkster a kiss. And, I mean, dude, you talk about like WWE. You know that it's all fake, right? 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 Same thing with politics, man. That's why all the same characters are in it. Tacos, much love, my brother. Much love, everybody out there. Vicky says Brock is the AC. Yeah, well, last I checked, the AC had to be performing miracles and be worshipped as a Messiah. And the Yanuka is what we found to be the one fitting that description. So, let me put a warning out there. Here, for all you people that think that, I don't know, everything's going to get better under Trump because that's, what Hawk just said. Like, we had it great under Trump. We know this. Everybody knows what we had. And everybody knows where we're at. We know this. Okay? Where are we going? I swear with everything in me that they're going to give you Donald Trump. And this whole thing's going to come down. And his defense is going to be that he did everything he could to stop it or whatnot. And he basically, he's already said it. He doesn't want to be the next Herbert Hoover, but he's already in it. There's no backing out now. There's no replacing him. There's no one else to run. You know? This says Trump or not, the dollar devaluation is imminent. And I feel the same way. Trump or not, the dollar devaluation is imminent, and this is huge. It's a huge thing. And I don't know. Maybe he gets in there and he goes around trying to play this peace card, because that's really what he's trying to do, as far as I could tell here. Michael King, thank you for that. Wait, hold on 1 second. I'm hearing this high pitched noise, and I gotta check something out. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right, and thank you for that, Michael. Again, keep this pushing. We got MSNBC's Joy Reid comparing Biden getting COVID to Trump getting shot, which is crazy. We'll play this clip here real quick. Her, you can see what they're brainwashing all these people with out there.
Have on that. These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
It should.
I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
It should.
Trying to paint the picture there that it's the same type of thing. That people should gather the sympathy for Joe Biden catching COVID, the same way they have sympathy for Trump. It's just, but yeah. Keep it pushing. Let's jump into the shooting. All right, because I've got some pretty interesting updates here. Okay, thank you, Paul. We're finding out right now that within minutes of this whole thing going down, it was. Let me back this up here. When it comes to this whole shooting that took place, they're doing quite a few different things here. First off, what I see them setting up is they're trying to spin off toward Iran, trying to say that there's Iran connections, that the shooter now had multiple phones and multiple accounts connected to overseas. And they're trying to take this thing away from their hands, like anything it could potentially do with them, and focus, I guess, the sheep's attention on Iran, the boogeyman, trying to say that they were plotting to assassinate Trump this whole time. Iran was. And this is an official story. Now, this is crazy because this is a story the left and the establishment's pushing now. But if Trump gets in there, this is a story that he too will continue to run with. No way they wouldn't. When they've already seeded out there that Iran's trying to take his life and kill him, when he gets in there, and knowing that's the staunch enemy of his ally, Israel. Thank you, Colleen. Or will Trump step up and play peacemaker with this false peace? I don't know. We yet to see Mr. Trump Heights, what he can do. But he'll have 4 years to try to do something. He's talking about peace on all these different fronts. He's going to try to even have peace in Ukraine done before he's even in office. Like if he's elected, like before day one takes place, he'll already have a peace plan implemented. Okay, before I get to that, hit on some critical points out of the shooting. I think it's important that people note that most of Trump's security detail were not even Secret Service. This is pretty crazy. Most of the security detail working the event were not even Secret Service. They were instead drawn from the Department of Homeland Security's Investigation Unit, or HSI. That's right. So Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri is putting this information out there, a sitting U.S. Senator, saying that DHS assigned unprepared and inexperienced personnel to this event. Yep, he said that Mayorkas said that this was considered to be a loose security event. For example, detection canines were not used to monitor the entry and exit points and to detect threats in the usual manner they usually do that in. They usually use the dogs every time that, there's just a custom thing that you do for security. None of that was followed on this day. This red flag continued to fly. So detection canines not used at all. They say that individuals without proper designations were able to gain access to the backstage areas. This just never happens, man. Okay? Department personnel did not appropriately police the security buffer around the podium, and they were not stationed at regular intervals around the event's perimeter, and we know this. We know the police also, we know all these other details. They caught the shooter beforehand. He's on video hours beforehand. It's rather ridiculous. The whole thing. So now we know that this was just a pieced together unit. Okay? It was not even the regular Secret Service thing. These were like different people he would normally have around him. For whatever reason, they took his shoes off too. And in all that good stuff. I don't know why they took his shoes off when it happened, but just really weird. They switched this whole thing up, and then come to find out the lady that was standing behind Trump when the whole thing went down, like he was getting shot and he goes down. Everybody's ducking down. And there's one lady standing there with a cell phone recording everything. She's said to be a top FBI personnel. I seen it in another post. She's sitting there filming. She's one of the top FBI ladies is right there behind Trump when this whole thing goes down. She's got her phone out. And even as shots are ringing out, she don't flinch. She just keeps on filming. Like, you talk about suspect as it gets. There was footage being passed around out there today of somebody showing Trump's ear getting shot off. And they were like, this vantage point, new footage shows that his ear was hit, blah, blah, blah. And it was fake, obviously. He was looking the wrong way. It was like reversed footage. It was all backwards. And it was like faked. And rather easy to tell that it was faked. But it was. And that they were passing that around today. And wouldn't you know that the Trump rally shooter building that he shot the shots from was reportedly owned by BlackRock and managed by firm executives from Pfizer. So, this brings up, I want to go to the other side. Let's look at the other side of the coin here real quick, because this is rather interesting. Have you heard of Blue Anon? Well, what is this? This is 1/3 of Democrats. It's 1/3 of all of them believe that this whole thing around Trump was a faked assassination attempt. And it's going mainstream. Like, this is what they believe. They believe full scale, and they're using this on the left side, full scale. And they're attaching all these different things to it. The problem with this is there's truth and lies mixed in everywhere. So you've got to sit there and try to get the tidbits out of everything, to try to make sense of it all. But you may remember back in 2021 the whole thing with QAnon, and we never ever even went down this path. Matter of fact, I told you the whole time it was a psyop created by the feds, which it is and was. They create these little things hoping that people gravitate toward them. They're honeypots. They really are. They're honeypots out there. They try to reel people in like J6 and hang them out to dry. I will say that my personal view on this, from seeing the shooting, because right when it happened, right when it happened, as it was happening within minutes, I was seeing it. I was seeing all the stuff. Good, yeah. I see what you're saying, Lowrider. Good quote there. My initial response when watching the whole thing was, he touched his ear. The way he touched his ear, the way he did that, the way he smacked his ear, he smacked it, or grabbed it, you could say, or whatever. But then his hand went down to his neck after he did that. It was a weird motion. I've watched him several times, and I thought that was that motion. Something keeps telling me there's something there. I wish I had the FBI agent's cell phone footage. We definitely have the real footage from the other side, which she has, which they got, and like we'll never see. But then the whole hand pump thing. You may recall a couple minutes ago, I played a clip, and one of the ladies was saying off the news broadcast that they gave him a 9-second photo op, during an assassination attempt. And it was prolonged. And it was weird. And it don't sit well with me. Because the whole time he's doing it, I'm thinking, get your head down. You're going to get JFK'd. But he keeps doing it. And, it's just, I don't know, man. And it was so, I don't know, man. It just doesn't, so many things, sometimes I can't put words to it. But all I can tell you is none of it sets well with me. I've told you all the things that don't add up, all the red flags. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is gonna always be an ongoing thing. I mean, look how long some of these other things carry on. As you get new information, you can expand on things. And at this point, from what I've seen, it's just not looking good for none of this. So, on the last show, I had what I consider to be huge information. And hold on a second, I gotta take care of a troll. We'll run that mouth. Get smoked. I told you that there was a short put in the day before Trump has all this happen. So I'm going to tell you, what's up, Ava? I'm going to tell you right now. And I told you then, absolutely huge that we found that they got caught putting in a 12 million share short the day before. Absolutely huge. I told you we could take it to a court of law and it would be enough to prove that someone knew without a doubt, and it still is, that someone knew without a doubt that this event was about to happen. They sure did. That's how bombshell it is. Well, guess who's connected of all people that we've talked about? Guess who's connected to that now? Guess who's connected to the short? BlackRock. A BlackRock linked firm is the one that did this. Can you believe that? Of all people that they're connected to, Austin Private Wealth, they're connected to BlackRock. That's right. That's right. And guess what else now? They're saying that was the error. They're saying that it was an error. And they removed it from the log. and that it was only supposed to be 1,200, not 12 million, 1,200. And whoever punched it in, made an error and 10x'd it. And they had to go back and correct it later. And you know what? I'm not buying it. They just fixed it. They just put the fix in real time. They just swept it under the rug. I told you on the last stream how huge this was. And it still is. It is absolutely huge. It shows that someone knew. I don't care if it was 12 million or 1,200. They're trying to cover their tracks there. They're trying to make it not look so big. But one thing you're not doing is taking away the fact that you still put in a bet on Trump's head to go down on that day. 1,200 or 12 million, it doesn't matter. So they are literally, I want you to know this, they are officially stating that this was an error. And that when someone punched it in, someone at the freaking stock exchange or whatever made an error. And 10x their... Dude, I'm not buying none of it. It's one of the biggest cover-ups in real time ongoing right now that no one is talking about. Like, no one's talking about. Yet, it is the smoking gun that you could take into court and show proof right now that someone knew in advance. There's no way all this happened. And then, also at this point, we could talk about how they covered their tracks now. Yeah, why not? Everything comes out in the wash. Just put it all out on the table. Let's just show exactly what happened. How this whole thing went into motion. And then at this point, they actually went back in and tried to cover it all up. Can you believe that? This is what's happening right now. This is huge. Absolutely huge. Yeah, well, we still got to ride out the rest of this year, whatever they have to throw at us. Definitely, this is going to be a wild ride, man. They've already took shots at Trump out here on the world stage. We just got hit with IT glitch today. They were saying that that's going to affect the voting stuff. I mean, they're saying these things. It's crazy. And we still got months to go here. In a very interesting DNC to get through. So I think that's going to be really interesting from here. In terms of the political realm, everything that's going on. I mean, who's Trump even running against? Who's it going to be? All attention turns that way. To Chicago. For this DNC. And who knows what kind of little show they're going to put on. Here. And, I mean, who knows what characters they're going to pull out. I'm serious. You just never know. You just never know. Kamala could walk out there and her vice is Michelle Obama. I mean, you just never know. And she could, and then Kamala breaks a nail and has to step down as president. And look at what we got. Obama finishing it out. Michelle got in there, man. She could ride it out 8 years. Don't tell me they can't and they won't. It's what is the establishment willing to give you? They gave you Joe Biden last time, and they told you it was by a record number of votes. I mean, come on, man. There ain't nothing changed. Ain't no one in prison. Same rulers running the show. And they got another little election cycle spinning up to throw at the sheep. Man. We all wanted to go back to better days, man. Makes me think of a song Tupac said a long time ago. I wish we'd go back to when we played as kids, but things change. And that's the way it is. And that's the way it is. Unless people want to get up off the tail and start being about something. Start riding for something. Standing for something. Then it's to sit down, shut up, and watch the show. Watch what they got pushing it. Unless somebody wants to get up, interact, and do something. You know, the beast is going to be the beast. It's going to do the beast. And who can wage war with the beast? You know? Interesting times. So Trump, I told you, Mr. Peacemaker, he holds a very good phone call with Zelensky. Very good. After all this crap talk back and forth. Of course, Zelensky himself, an actor, comedian, puppet. And apparently, whatever they talk about behind the scenes, they're saying it was a good phone call. It's about as much as we're going to get out of it. And Trump says that he guarantees peace. Well, with him saying this, they're firing up Russiagate 2.0. They're literally trying to say that he's connected to Russia. And they're trying to press this again. They're trying to spin it back up again. Because he's opting for real peace between Zelensky and Putin. And of course, he's got to talk to both leaders if he's really going to do it. And he's got to present a plan and all that. He has to deal with Putin. And it's like anytime he goes to do it, they want to play this card. And there's a lot pointing at Donald Trump winning this election. There sure is. He can be the man that rolls in, whether it's true or false, sets up a peace accord in Israel, and brings a halt to all the madness happening there. He could, at the same time, swoop on down Ukraine and set up this big, massive peace deal to stop World War III. Because that's exactly what they're saying. And strike up peace between Putin and Zelensky. And we all know he's going to end the funding there and all that. Like, dude, this is going to, I'm telling you, this is what's about to happen. And he's going to be seen as this man of peace. You wonder why all these people make all these biblical references to Donald Trump. True or not, love him or hate him. They are walking this out this way. And he is their man of choice. And he's down for the ride, apparently. That's the scariest thing. He knows full well the shoes he's walking in and the job that he has to do. Russia, in the meantime, because we are still under a Biden regime here on this world stage, all this stuff, Russia saying, warning, it sees a concentrated presence of NATO warships in the Black Sea. We're also getting word that through different channels, underground channels stating that they believe that there's multiple Russian subs off both of our coasts. And they can be in international waters, and there's really nothing that we could do. They would really cause probably some alarm if they came out publicly and said this on the evening news to all the sheep. Michael King says, what happens after Trump, though, mate? I'm worrying. Oh, well, bro, I think this whole place gets tore down. It's the Great Reset, and it happens on Trump's watch. That's what I feel is about to happen. They initiated the same thing, warp speed, on his watch. I feel that the whole thing, he's even said it. The whole Herbert Hoover thing, and inheriting a ticking time bomb of an economy. It's going to lead into like a depression. He's already saying it. So why would he not continue to say it? It's not my fault. And to be honest, a lot of the people are probably going to accept that it's not his fault. And they're going to hope that he can do his best through 4 years' time to steer us out of it. But then, just like Michael says, then what? Well, if you missed it on the last stream, and if you missed the last big RNC show here this past week, it was nothing but one huge big coming out party for one individual. It was more about one individual than Trump even getting shot. It was the introduction of the face of what they call the new right, and his name is J.D. Vance. That is what's going to come after Trump, and they're showing you it. And they'll have something else probably primed up by then. Does he stand a chance? Does he have the charisma and this and that? I don't know. But I done showed you the Judas part of him. I done showed you all the crap talking he did before about Trump. Even though he says now he takes all that back, blah, blah, blah. Well, people say it right there, he's two-faced. And then people don't trust him. And whether he's for Trump or not, at this point, if you believe in him, in my opinion, if he's going to ride with Trump and he's going to be their replacement, he can't pull a Pence. He can't be the Judas here. He can't. He can't do it. He's really got to stick with Trump. He's got to ride strong with Trump. Back him up in all positions. He's got to start to have that Trump effect rub off on it because he ain't got it. They brought him out on the stage with Trump and this and that, but it takes something special, man. And I'm not so sure you can just to stick anybody in there. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that there's no one that they can find that can replace Trump's magnitude, star power. No one. They'll fall short here. And that could be a downward spiral, the beginning of a fallback for the Republican Party, which in turn represents at this point, sadly, what they call the right or the anti-left. The left is full-blown establishment. So if you're against the establishment, that means you have to be on the right side, period. And this by default, the way it falls. And then they control every aspect of everything. It's a left-right paradigm. It's a Hegelian dialect, man. And it's still the same Rothschilds controlling every federal bank in every country on both sides of every war around the planet up to this very second. Can you believe that? Ain't nothing changed. It's a show. It's a show. Meanwhile, here's a bargaining chip. Here's something that's definitely probably going to be brought up. Trump gets in there and he's going to try to orchestrate peace between Russia and Ukraine and all this. We have this Gershevik, American, Russia saying he's spying for the CIA. They convicted him of espionage and convicted him of 16 years. And guaranteed this is going to be brought up for Trump to get him out and bring him home and have to give up someone in return. Whoever we're holding in a dungeon somewhere. Oh yeah, I meant to wipe you out last time. I'm glad you ran your mouth again, so I got you that time. Love it. So let's go to Bangladesh. Riots forced the government to cut the internet. You see what they do? They did this in Africa. They've done this in multiple countries right now. This is what they do. When you actually finally rise, which hasn't even happened here, nowhere even close, not in the United States, but you can expect this. They will put you in the dark. They will shut down your internet and all this other stuff, your fiber and all that, unless you have like some kind of remote setup to get by. They're going to take you out totally. So Bangladesh cut the internet nationwide. Chaos erupts there. Social unrest. They're sick of it. I mean, they're actually rising up there. It's about inequality, poverty, lack of jobs. It's all of it. Bidenomics. But in Bangladesh, they're sick of it. They're bucking back. Like the breaking point has happened. So they try to put them in the dark. That way they can't show the world, tell the rest of the world what's going on in real time. They can like keep them hidden. This is a tactic they've used time and time again. I'm telling you, they're going to do it here. They're going to do it here. Whenever the people rise to this point. So the people are ticked. Oh, and just imagine if they give you Kamala. Will that finally be enough? Or are people going to say, oh, we'll wait 4 more years for Trump? Like, are you kidding me? Because it's exactly what got us into this to begin with. Yes, I believe so. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for the comment. I just want to point this out because chaos is erupting worldwide. It's a nonstop thing. And we've got migrants that have slipped in here, sitting there quiet as a mouse, hiding somewhere in these different spots all over the place. 10 million plus. Jeez, Pete. And it hasn't even begun. So what happens when this begins? It's going to be war. It's going to be the Civil War. I believe they were brought here to spark the Civil War, so to speak. To attack full scale from the inside. Ain't even begun yet. Yeah, they're out there raping women and killing people. That's what they do. But the war ain't even begun yet. The bat signal hasn't even begun yet. We're not, like, full-scale fighting hasn't even begun. In neighborhoods and all this other stuff. It is yet to begin. You remember the day that I warned about. You'll remember. You'll remember this. I promise you. I promise you. When this all is happening, large scale, which it's going to. They're not here to just camp out and leave. When this happens, you'll remember all the nights we talked about this. And I wonder how many of you actually go out and buy ammunition after all this and actually make moves. Knowing there's 10 freaking million of them sitting here. What do you think they're ready to do? What happens when they cut the internet off on us? Lights out, any of that. And then they make their move. Because the first thing you do in war is you take out comms on your enemy. Let's go over to England real quick. Shout outs to my cats in the UK. As it says, England has fallen. Insane video captured of migrant riots breaking out in the UK. What they're calling migrant riots. And we'll play some clips.
Să vină mascații de la București, că și pe aia îi tărăbăm să moară copilul Cristi. Access direct!
Thank you, Big Shot Ben. And for sure, my brother, thank you for the coffees. Much appreciated. I hope all is well. Definitely got to catch up for sure. We got to catch up and talk about stuff like this, brother. We all do. Do you understand? Do you see what I'm playing here? This is migrant riots, destroying, torching the UK. Out there, this is what's coming. I just got to telling you, it hasn't even begun here, and it has not. They're not doing it right now. Yeah, they're wilding out in LA, but that's just that's just the people in LA doing what they do down there. Ireland, yes, all these other places kicking up big time. This is what happens when they spring into motion. Do you finally see? Do you see? This is what I'm warning you about. It's like the calm before the storm right now. It hasn't even begun here at this scale. Once it does in major U.S. cities like this, it will not stop. They are coming out, flipping cars, burning buildings down. This is going to make BLM look like small potatoes. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. One of the only things that's going to stand a chance to counter this, I'm going to tell you again, because I said it before, are the gangs in America. You better just get down with some gangs. Get down and know some. I see it like Pac. You should have brought all the gangs together, because if you bring them together, you finally got a chance. They are the only ones inside the cities that are fighting back. It's because they don't allow no one to come on their block. They'll kill over it by default. So it's by default the only area we're finding buck back, where actually these migrants going to get their butts whipped and ran out of there. And my man, get people shoot back. It's the gangs are like the front line, believe it or not, in this country right now against these migrants. And they are the frontline adversary too, because if you're a gang member or anyone in any one of these cities in downtown Chicago right now, these migrants are there to destroy your stuff, to turn your city inside out, to steal your jobs. Your corrupt government's going to turn around and give them IDs and then also make them cops. And you're going to stand for that? You're going to stand for that, dude. That's why I tell you. So some of these places are like, they're enemy territory, dude. And like, it's... the gangs are the only ones holding it down. When it comes to the streets, I've done reported on it. We've done seen it. We've seen the video clips. They are literally running them out of the hoods. They won't let them come in there. They won't do it because they won't let just anybody come in there. So my advice would be to everyone out there, you better take a page out of their playbook and you better apply it to your neighborhood. If you start to see a couple truckloads of dudes that look like they're from China, the Middle East, or wherever, you better start doing some investigating. You better find out what house they're going to, where they're going, what they're up to, all this stuff. You better. Because those dudes are going to be these guys. These guys right here in the streets, burning everything down. Come on. It's plain to see. Someone just said, picked up 2K rounds, brother. Stay safe and God bless. Much love from Mayhem in Wyoming. Hey, much love. Thank you for the coffees. It is the best way to support the channel. And it's all appreciated to the fullest. Yeah, I'm glad you're stocked up on ammo. It's good to hear and know. Well, the playbook has been simple, to be honest. It's been flood migrants in that will not assimilate into all these areas. I'm not talking just the United States. People in the United States are just now catching on because it's affecting them now. I've been talking about this for years. We've watched George Soros and his money send migrants across the Mediterranean Sea. Years ago. I've been doing this for a long time. 15 years, man. Like, all these different events that have happened. What do you think ever happened? All those migrants we reported on, drove after drove, they just kept going and going into Italy and Germany and all these places, into the UK. It just kept coming and kept coming. It kept coming. Well, you see, they finally sprung into action. Same thing's been happening in the United States. They've just been coming and coming and coming for years, and then all of a sudden, they're going to spring into action. They're doing absolutely nothing right now. Don't you think it's kind of odd? Like nothing. There's not one city that sees anything going on like this with the migrants. Not one. But just wait until 50 are like this. 50 across the United States, because that's their plan. That's the plan. Turn them all into chaos. You're going to have the enemy. And I'm telling you, plenty of highly trained Chinese, trained up by the CCP. They ain't leaving that country unless they're told to. They're here and they're ready to go into action. You don't see none of them Chinese in any of these clips. Those Chinese are like the assassins, I'm telling you. The highly trained killers. And there's way more that has slipped across the United States border into here than anywhere else. You don't see the Chinese like that in all these other European spots. Like that. You just don't. You see all these other dudes from Middle East and Africa and places like that because they were easier to use. So Rush rounded them up and took them out of North Africa and sent them right across the Mediterranean. Here's been a little bit different. And there's a lot of Chinese. And you don't see Chinese out there anywhere. When you do, it's not going to be good. Boy, oh boy. You look out and you see a truckload of Chinese going down your road in your neighborhoods. Guys, come on. Somebody better be on top of it. You better see where they're going, what they're doing, what's up. I'm telling you, England, they're saying it's falling because of this. Dude, it's happening right now in real time, y'all. And look here. You may recall this Venezuelan caught some attention. This Venezuelan migrant, they wanted to call him. Telling people to storm the border. Come in, all this stuff, and was being all brazen about it, cocky. Guess what? Now I'm coming to find out. Oh, he was a squatter. He was going into homes. He was going into homes and squatting and just taking them over and getting away with it and telling all these other people how to do it. Guess who he is? He is a sergeant in Maduro's military. Not just any old sergeant. He's a sergeant in his military intelligence unit. So they're high-class intelligence out of Venezuela. They're military. That's who this dude is. Cannons and Spiro in the chat tonight, like some old times. So, again, that brings me to my final piece for tonight. More than 10 million illegal immigrants under Joe Biden are here. More than 10 million. That could be double, man. We're invaded like a Trojan horse, and they're just waiting for the right night to come out. You know, the story of the Trojan horse. They snuck into the town, to the city, and waited till dark where everyone was asleep, and then they came out. Yeah. That's how I see this. That's the best analogy that I can give for this whole thing to explain it. That's how I see this. Them being a Trojan horse brought in, and then they're going to spring into action. Hey, thank you for the message, Lowrider, and the coffees. Yeah, it is time to fight. It's always been that. It's always been time, how I've seen it, it's always been time to fight the good fight. Yeah, and it is about consciousness. Walking the right way, awakening, truly. Yeah, brother. We're in crazy time. To think that the tribulation is just getting started, then, if you look at it like we're just getting in the trip, and that's a crazy time to know that we're living through those days. And I guess you got to expect madness or crazy things if you're going to be in those days. It seems like that's where we're at. Hope all's good with you, man. I know you said last time that you're venturing out of California. So I know you probably got a lot going on, Lowrider. A lot on your mind, brother. Send prayers for you. That's for sure. And anyone else out there that needs them. I want to thank all you guys for tuning in, like always, for another one. Rough start tonight on the stream. Was able to get it off. And I'll look to be back. Going live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I will not be live Wednesday. Will not be live Wednesday. Try my best to be live on Monday and Friday of next week. Will not be live on Wednesday so that everyone knows. Peace to all. Much love. Thank you. Praise the Most High. Jesus Yeshua. Frozone says, felt an earthquake. Really, where you at? Give us a little bit of feedback here before I take us out of here. Thank you, Tacos, for everything. Much love, my brother. He fits. All the mods. Appreciate it. Cannons. We go over here. Sonic. Alf. Tooch, man. Much love, my brother. Joe, Susie. For me. All my cats over there on D Live. Everybody listening in across all platforms. Gonna shut it down. Take us out of here. Much love, Cannons. Spiro. Take us out here with some beats from Live 1707. Much love, Pure Bloods. Forever. Thank you, Eon. God bless. Much love, man.